What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk on the Tundra, your Green Bay Packers podcast that is a proud partner of the Gyro Step Podcast Network and the Blue Wire family. As always, I'm your host, Numac, coming to you this week very happy after a Packers win over the New York Football Giants. A game that was closer than it needed to be, is how I'll say, but I think positive things to pull out of it, even though, like I said, the score was closer than we all probably would have liked it to be. And to talk about all that and some more is my lovely co-host Jordan Chesky. Jordan, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. I think you hit it on the head of a theme that defines the Packers season. A game closer than it had any right to be, but they got out the schneid, which, we
Yeah,
can't complain about that, can we?
no, we can't.
But
Um,
Lord, will we try.
Packers once again scored 27 points in their win. That is uh, the theme lately. Five of their six wins that they have, they scored exactly 27 points, and they scored 35 against the Steelers. So um, eclipse that mark, and they win. Keith in the Discord said if when they score more than 27, they're 6-0. Or yeah, 6-0. When they score less than 13 or less, they are 0-3. So weird that
Wait, say it again?
when they score 27 or more, they're 6-0. When they score 13 or less, they're 0-3.
What if.
They have not scored between.
Now that is bigger than the Gulf of Mexico.
I don't know what that's referencing.
The Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah, but yes, of
Sorry,
course.
Gulf of America.
I mean, that's what you call it. I call it the Gulf of Mexico. What? I don't understand the reference. Why is that's bigger than the Gulf of Mexico?
The coral barrel. What is it? Coral reef? Did I
That's
just say barrel?
the Great Barrier Reef is in Australia. If that's what you're talking about.
That's
But
true.
I want to know. We're not getting off this. I want to know what led to that statement because I am so confused right now.
I don't know. The Gulf of
The go-
Ron, Mexico.
okay, I must be lost. Let me know in Discord if I'm lost. But I think it's very funny that they have not finished a game with a total points on like a point scored between 13 and 27.
No,
that there's two touchdowns difference between
dumb.
them losing and winning games. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's really dumb.
Um,
This Packer season is just boiling down to like,
can the offense execute?
yeah.
That's really
Well,
it. And that's
yeah.
I guess let's start there. We spent a lot of time last week hemming and hawing on Matt LaFleur's play calling, and it just didn't look good. Like it seemed stale. This, that, or the other. Right? We spent a lot of time talking about that. It just wasn't good. There was too much run game. They weren't trusting Jordan Love enough. Um, I thought his play calling this week, I guess coincidentally or possibly purposefully, I think it's more the latter than the former, looked a lot better once Josh Jacobs left with his injury. Josh Jacobs leaves in the first quarter with a knee injury, comes back for like a snap or two, and then ultimately left the field for the rest of the game. Sucks that Josh Jacobs got injured. They're optimistic about that. It's not a season-ending injury. He's gonna get more imaging today as you're listening to this on Monday. But I think once Matt LaFleur lost his crutch that is Josh Jacobs in the run game, you started to see what this offense really should look like week to week. Malik Willis, that one drive that he had, there was a lot of running in that game, like a lot of running from him on scrambles, and I don't think there was a designed run, but he scrambled a lot. And then Emmanuel Wilson had a couple carries. Malik Willis ultimately finishes that drive with a bullet of a pass to Christian Watson to get their first touchdown of the game. But after that, we saw a lot of Jordan Love throwing the ball. And I think that's really what we were looking for last week. Like they ran so many times last week, and even in this game, Jordan Love misses, I think, a one total series. I think he left and then
He
came
he
back.
missed the end of the first touchdown drive,
Right,
so it was
and
like
and then
4 or 5 plays.
it was a little more than that. I was looking back through the thing, like the play by play. But yeah, in essence misses half of a drive, comes back and finishes the game 13 to 24, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns. By no means like a outstanding game, but I thought he played relatively well. And I think like there's even an opportunity for them to throw more, right? Like he's been averaging just south of 30 attempts a game ish on the season. And then last week had 36. He was 20 of 36 last week with 176 yards. Like two highly different games than last week. I think he was just more efficient this game. And I think the plays just looked better. Not to mention the biggest part of this, like what led to us starting here, was that if the offense just executes, this game is nowhere near as close as it needs to be. Like there were so many drops today. There were
Yes.
in the first quarter alone.
Five by first half,
Right, five by
according to
first
Rohan.
half, and
Yeah.
if you count the defense, it's 7 or 8
Yeah.
because we'll get to that later. But like two by Romeo Dobbs, um, Luke Musgrave, I believe, dropped the pass that they thought it was a fumble, ends up as a drop pass, thankfully. But then I think John Fitzpatrick dropped one in the flat too. Like there was just
Yes.
so many balls that were hitting guys right in the hands, especially Romeo. Romeo's were egregious today because they hit him right in the hands. Like Jordan Love had I think a pretty good day accuracy wise, and the guys just couldn't catch it. Like it was highly frustrating in the first half to think like, man, this game shouldn't be 13-13. Like the Packers should have been driving a few different times today and had a few more touchdowns than they did.
Yeah, I mean, 13 to 24, if you count it, that was at least 6, 7 drops by the end of the game that
Right.
Jordan Love. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think the initial shock to the system of losing Love in that first drive or first scoring drive, I should say, kind of rewired the whole game plan for the Packers and Matt LaFleur, and then subsequently losing Josh Jacobs as well. So losing your starting quarterback momentarily, and then losing your starting running back for the rest of the game, like for someone that I think a lot of people still give him the rap of he doesn't adjust well mid game, which I mean that varies week to week. I think part of it just comes down to execution, a big part of it. But today was a perfect example of rolling with the punches, being able to overcome a lot of self errors, um, things you can't control, like injuries. And I mean, we'll get into how messy this game was because it still was not clean. I still think by and large, there are a lot of things that, like, are these things capable of being cleaned up, or are we just going to just lump them in as in this is a part of the process and it just feels like the process getting messier. But I thought Jordan Love played really gutsy. I thought he played really well. Like a lot of the things that I think his season has been defined by when he is getting pressured and it just feels like he's like this turret that does like just goes haywire with throws. That was not the case today. Like he was making throws on the run that like he just wasn't like tripping over himself or like
Yeah.
being off platform and therefore like his like it was a lot cleaner. And considering that they were losing at least one wideout every 2 drives, it felt like
Yeah.
because they got hit hard or the wing got knocked out of him. Christian Watson scores the game clinching touchdown. Then I think he left on that play. Not that the offense is on the field for much longer, but you know,
Is
it's
Watson fine? I didn't see that injury.
there was something. I think Domowski said that he was fine, but you know, he did have that weird kind of um, late week injury report designation that he said that he was going to be good to go anyway. So
Yeah, it was his hamstring versus his knee.
yeah,
But yeah, Side note, great catch by Christian Watts. We'll talk about him in a minute.
Oh my god, yeah.
But I think what's worth noticing is I went through the Packers' drives. Again, they didn't have a lot of them. They had, I think, 8 total. Um,
Oh,
after
jeez.
after Josh Jacobs gets hurt, they did not have a series in which, or they didn't not have. Let me restart. After Josh Jacobs got hurt, so first quarter, they had
Yeah.
one instance the rest of the game where they ran back to back runs, and it was the last drive of the third quarter for them. They had a 5 yard run up the middle, a 3 yard run up the middle, and an incompletion to Christian Watson deep that led to a punt. But otherwise, the rest of the game, it was mixing the run and the pass, like every other player going pass, run. Like there was a lot more. Um, I'm sorry, two instances if you count the last drive of the game for them where they were eating up clock, which I don't count that
Mm.
because that's not they didn't want to pass the ball anyways. But like when the game mattered, they stopped relying on the run so much and let Jordan Love be an all-pro quarterback that he is, or like that he can be, I should say. Because I thought he played well today. Like there was the stats aren't there to like really go eye popping. Like he's not Jacoby Brissett who set the NFL record today with for most completions in a game. Not
And
sure.
again, they lost what I think 41 to 22,
40, I think it was 44, but yeah, it was a
44.
it was a it was
Jesus.
a lot.
Yeah.
But like they just he just looked good today. And as we said earlier, passes were hitting guys in the hands that was getting dropped. So if he gets, I think to wrap the point up that we've already mentioned, if his receivers actually like work for him in this game, I think he has a much better day. And we're not starting this pod talking about the play calling and sort of the sequencing of how everything went during the game. We're talking more about a big career day for Jordan Love.
Yeah, I think that is very possible. I mean, there was a lot of. I'm kind of. It's good to see explosive plays back. I'm kind of going through the play by play and just see like what the Packers were capable of doing. And what? Only one three and out,
That
right?
yeah, that was the one where they went run on pass. That I said the two back to back
Yeah.
runs and the deep to Christian Watson. That was their 1 3 and out. Besides
It,
the game ending one that they punted off of.
yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, if, I don't know. I liked what we've seen, and we talk about like running through the identity of like the run pass balance that LaFleur constantly wants to
Constantly.
adhere to,
Yeah.
and it worked last year when Love wasn't healthy,
When he wasn't healthy and he was on two.
and you had Malik Willis filling in for him, like of course, but you're gonna if you're gonna live with Jordan Love's mistakes when he makes them, you shouldn't kind of not cower,
You should
but
you
like
shouldn't live in fear of them even though he makes them.
yes,
Which to be
that's the perfect way
fair,
to put it.
he hasn't done that this year. I forget who tweeted it, but I saw it when I was scrolling post game. Through 10 games in his last 3 years, he had 12 interceptions in 23, 11 in 24. He has 3 interceptions this year. Like he's not putting the ball in harm's way significantly. Part of that is they're not using him as much. Like he's not throwing the ball a lot. And like
No,
he's not throwing the ball 35, 40 times a game. He sometimes does. Like there's a couple of times when he does that when they play from behind and they have to start throwing the ball.
yeah,
But like in their wins, let me see if I can go find that quick. In their win against Detroit, he had 22. In their win against Commanders, he had 31. 43 against Dallas in that game, which was overtime as well. 3 straight wins against the Bengals, Arizona, and Pittsburgh. He threw 26, 29, and 37 times, and then 37 and 36 in losses, and then 24 today. So like in wins, he's not throwing. What he had 2 games, the Pittsburgh game and the Commanders game, where he had above 30 attempts, and in the wins, and then in the losses, he's getting close to 40 because they need to throw the ball.
he almost has as many fumbles as he does interceptions this year,
Yeah,
like lost fumbles.
right, which is crazy. Which is crazy. He's protecting the ball And even then, that's excuse me, that is a fewer amount of total turnovers from Jordan Love than he had in interceptions to this point in his two previous years starting. So,
Mm.
like, hopefully this starts a trend with LaFleur trusting Love to just throw the ball and make throws because he can make them. We said it time and time again. So, um, let's talk about
Agreed.
let's talk about more of the offense because there was a lot of things coming out of this game that I think we need to discuss. First and foremost is Christian Watson. He is like by far in a way the best receiver on this roster. Like it's not really a question for me when he's healthy that he's going and making big plays. Like it's between him and Romeo, but like Christian Watson right now I think has is not doing any wrong in my book. Right? Like he's doing the small things. He's done nothing but productive things since he got back. I think he had like one drop in the recent weeks that I can't even pinpoint, but I think he had one.
And the route last week where he essentially played defensive back, that
That
it
yeah,
was, yeah.
that wasn't fun. And he said it himself on Twitter afterwards that he should have caught the ball. But regardless, I mean today he has three catches, I think. Four catches for 46 yards and two touchdowns, including strong hands on both of his touchdowns. Like Malik Willis fires an absolute rocket to him from 4 yards away, and he hangs on to it with the Giants defender having his hand in his like in between his face mask and his hands in the ball, and he hangs on to it. And then Jordan Love's throw to him for his second touchdown. He goes up and grabs and lands in bounds on his back and has the second touchdown. Like a really good day from him, even though he didn't light up the stat sheet. Just quality stuff from Christian Watson. I mean, and he had, I think, a big third down catch over the middle, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right.
I think that was
I'm
like
pretty.
his seven. He had a long of 17. I think that was that play. I can go through
Mm.
the play by play quick while you make your talk about Christian Watson.
No, I think your point. I don't know if I would say he's the best wide receiver on this Packers team because I do think it varies from week to week and revolving door. And I, no, not to be pedantic.
No, I get it. I'm like I'm asking to be for you to be pedantic, like because
I will say though,
he his one of his catches was a third down conversion for actually two of them were. He had two catches on third down and then two touchdowns.
2000. Well, there you go. I will say I don't think I've ever been as confident in him since the end of his rookie year
I would
in
agree with
22.
that. Maybe
I
that's where
think
my statement is better placed.
I think it's quite remarkable to see him play as well as he has as a pro since coming back from injury. Like I don't he's had better games like statistically like Cowboys game in his rookie year where he three touchdowns like just out of nowhere. But it does last week notwithstanding, I think he just not to beat this like a dead horse. His way of changing the game and giving a dimension to the offense that they haven't been able to utilize with Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs. We talk about like defined roles. Like we know what Christian Watson's out there to do. He's run out there to run fast and catch balls. And it
And he's all
just
out of bubble gum.
he's all out of bubble gum. I just think there's just a level of purpose and a level of technical or technique, and I'm not trying to be like you know I guess hoity-toity about it, but like there it didn't it feels like there's purpose behind what he's doing, and it wasn't just like I'm super fast, I can just outrun this guy and catch the ball.
They are letting
It
him run routes.
Yes, and that to me is really big, and it certainly helps when you can like you make the plays and connect with them on completions. But like, it's year 4 for him.
Yeah.
It does take some time to like oh, this is what coach wants me to do, and this is how we're gonna get it. Like to, I just felt like he has had a level of success that meets the kind of. It's not just going out there and just running your route,
No.
you know,
Yeah, no.
because how many times have we seen him kind of round out routes or like take bad angles? I mean, last week is kind of the perfect example of like you're not having faith in where the ball is going to be because for all the kind of shoulder shrugging that we've given to Jordan Love's deep ball accuracy over the years, it's like it takes two to tango. You need the guy to be able to be in the position to catch said ball,
Yep.
therefore make it a part of your arsenal.
And I think like he had good throws this week. And again, also weird that they let Christian Watson run routes and be a receiver, and he looks really good doing it. Like I'm glad
Yeah.
that they're finally getting rid of him in the gadget stuff. He doesn't need. He's not the kind of receiver, not the kind of player. I'd rather them just continue that the trajectory they're on with him. Speaking of guys that don't need to be gadget guys, Savion Williams comes up big on a third down today on like a contested catch that Jordan Love throws up a prayer with. Um, I should find the stat quick, but I think Peter Bukowski had this, and they talked about how they talked about it in the spring about Savion Williams' game and how that he was pretty good at contested catches in college. But
Mm.
I'm gonna try to find it quick. But um, I wish again another guy. I wish they would let do more receiver things because I don't even think it's so much that like yeah, Savion Williams can solve this offense. It's more that like you drafted a receiver. What was that? The third
Third
round?
round.
Third
Third round.
round? Why not use them? Like why not use them in ways that are better than that? You know, like I
Yeah.
just don't enjoy.
Savion Williams also came into the stadium wearing a walking boot.
Did
Did
he?
you see that?
I did not
Yes, he
see
did.
that. Um,
So
no, that's not ideal. But at least he played through it and did
yeah,
well. Um,
on that turf too.
on that turf, yeah. I can't find it, man. This is frustrating. But he had a lot of contest. He like led contested catches in college while he was there. I forget who it was, but oh well, can't find it. Um, he's more than just a gadget guy. He can go down and make like good contested catches. I think if I'm remembering the screenshot right or remembering the tweet right, is like 75% of his catches in college for contested or not more contested, but of
I have it right here.
thank you Christ, I could not
NFL
find it.
Draft Files. Thank you to Dari Carriger. Carriger.
That's who it
Sorry.
was from. Yep.
Savion Williams, college career contested catch success 73.5%, 25 of 34.
There we go.
Compared to Travis Hunter in the same class was 19 of 29, 65.5%.
Yeah. And so like another guy that again, let's just use him as a receiver and not in the Bull Melton role, who had a 16-yard carry today. And Malik Heath's absence that we didn't talk about on the preview pod. He's was a coaching decision left at home. Matt LaFleur declined to give the reasoning post game in his press conference today. So who knows what's going on? Hopefully everything's good. Hopefully he figures it out, etc. But either which way, use receivers in the way they're supposed to be used. They don't need to be gadget guys all the time. Get them targets down the field. We've seen it can
I would go
happen.
one further. Use cornerbacks
On gadget
as
plays.
wide receivers. But to his credit, Bo Melton, 17-yard run
That was his one snap on offense today.
is a hell of a good one.
Um,
Better than that.
I have snap count talk that I want to get to before we move on to defense.
Snap
Um,
count talk.
that's right. Um, do you want to have a room of discussion? I think we already kind of touched on him. I don't think there's much discussed in more than just a bad game for him today. Like if he
Bad game. Um, again, second game in a row where he kind of leaves with.
he came back.
He came back
Yeah.
as he did last week, but it was just kind of,
Did he come back last week?
yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, he still made a big catch
He did.
late.
He did. He like
So he
he
has his
got he
moments.
got his two drops out of the way, but they were significant drops. But then the rest of the game he was fine. But like,
Four catches on 8 targets this year. Actually, now that I'm looking it up, I want to see his um 39 catches on 64 targets this year.
yeah. I mean, that's not all him either. I don't think, and they're not
No,
all drops. Today
no,
was
it's just
two
more of
drops.
like that was a lot better. Remember last year? That was a lot better than
Yeah,
it had been.
yeah. Um. Also, like 15 uh receptions from the team. Four by Romeo Dobbs, four by Christian Watson. No other Packer had more than one catch,
Hmm.
which is crazy.
Yeah,
Um. Shout out Emmanuel Wilson. He did really good in relief
big
today
shout out.
from Josh Jacobs. Like I liked his work in his 40 or in his 11 carries today. 11 carries, 40 yards and a touchdown, including the 11-yard scamper for his touchdown. Josh Jacobs 7 carries, 40 yards. He was having a really good day prior to his injury. Um,
Shout out Malik Willis,
shout out Malik Willis for his role. He had a carry for 16 yards and then two passes for 6 yards in that touchdown.
future New York Jets starting quarterback.
I would really wish they would just let him keep backing up in Green Bay.
He's gonna get money.
I'm sure he is, but I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed for some above average backup money.
Maybe, maybe.
Who knows? But he probably won't. Either which way.
Shout out Josh Wiley.
Shout out Josh Wiley. He had a good
Got a
touchdown rep.
touchdown.
Touchdown rep. That was his one catch. Um, and
That was a
so
really good play too.
it was a really good play design that we hope we see more of. That was something they've been missing in the red zone. Um, this is the transition to the snap count discussion.
Mm.
Tight end snap counts: 32 for John Fitzpatrick, 19 for Josh Wiley, including 5 on special teams, 18 for Luke Musgrave. Luke Musgrave had his two drops, I believe, or possibly one, and like whatever fumble that was, and did not play good half football. And as such, he was effectively benched the rest of the game after the first half. I am skeptical of how he's going to be utilized the rest of the season. Like he has to be able to just be better. I think he had more than one target. He had two
He's gonna have
targets.
it.
He had two targets. One of them, he had one catch for -1 yard, which like passing depth,
Talk about 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
right? Passing depth
Literally,
isn't his decision, but a gain for -yards, a fumble slash incompletion on his other target, and then I didn't love his reps last week, especially going to third down when he could have tried to bowl over a guy and get there. Like it's fine. Like I'm not gonna blame a guy for not totally plowing over a guy, but like in a game where in a moment where you have to have it, he didn't really kind of have to have it. It's looked like as a fan, but I mean, when you're getting out snapped by the guy that's been there for a week, 2 weeks, Josh Wiley, it's not good. It doesn't instill confidence in me, and I don't think the team has confidence in him to really be able to take over this role now that Tucker Kraft is going to be out for the rest of the year. Like it's not good. Like you were a second round pick. What happened?
um, injuries,
Well,
stalled development.
sure, but like I don't know. I don't know.
This is kind of his rep though. Like he was always kind of. I know in the draft class that he came out of, we thought of Tucker Kraft as being like, well, he played on Division II level. Luke Musgrave like had 2 healthy years of college football, and that's really tough when those 2 years are your freshman and sophomore years, or
Yeah.
essentially red shirt freshman and sophomore. There's a lot of stall development. He's already, you know, even when they were on even playing fields, LaFleur liked Tucker Kraft out there because of what he gave run blocking. And he usurped Luke Musgrave in that way.
Right.
If you don't have two-way value, which you could both in the run game, blocking, and running routes, like it's kind of like in basketball, like setting screens for guards, and then we'll throw you up a lob play. You know what I mean? Like, here's your turn. And if Luke Musgrave can't do that, like that's that to what you mean of like does he have the trust of the team? It's like does he have the trust of the main play caller who
Yeah.
nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in terms of what Matt LaFleur wants out of every year of um the playbook.
Yeah.
And if you can't execute that way, like you're just not gonna have your chances.
No, you're not.
And when you do squander your chances with the ball in your hands, like that play was crazy to begin with, but
Which one? Oh, the
his
Musgrave.
fumble,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was like, okay, I don't know. I just feel like
He's not doing himself
we're
favors, and he
no,
needs to be better. Like if he wants to have any sort of career in Green Bay or in the NFL, like, and this is sweet coming from a fan, but like he has to be just better. Like I think he's yeah, his last year was contract is next year, right? I he could be a cap casualty next year. Not even a cap casualty. Like just we have better guys. Like we don't need your services.
yeah, I don't know if they would,
I don't know if they would either. But like what
but he,
what's
yeah,
what positive thing does he provide right now?
um,
Like if they're starting,
big body,
if I mean big for what? He doesn't block well.
big body, um,
Go ahead. I know, but like when you're getting replaced by a guy that's been there 2 weeks, that says a lot. When most of this team likes to play the regulars. The new guys really don't get a lot of run usually. They like their guys that had been in house. Look at McManus for example. Um, like I just think it's pretty dire if you're Luke Musgrave and you make a pretty bad mistake, but ultimately a mistake that doesn't cost the team, right? Like the incompletion is just an incompletion of that. Of course, it was a fumble, right? In the same way that it probably should have been a fumble, but the whole what is a catch thing is just not solidified in reality, essentially. But
yeah.
it ultimately doesn't hurt him, right? Why punish him for something that doesn't hurt the team? Like in the box score, no one's none the wiser. It's just a drop pass, and so they just can't be impressed with what he's showing with his effort or anything. To have to give up snaps to Josh Wiley and respect to Josh Wiley, but like not a guy I've thought about in years. Like I think he was like a backup Titans tight end for a couple of years. He wasn't anything special, but he's getting touchdowns and getting and playing the majority of the tight end snaps over. I'm
But
sorry,
what does he do? What does he do?
Crick,
He's a big body that blocks.
right? And
And if you can't do that, if Luke Musgrave can't do it, there's someone else that will do it and
like John
scamper
Fitzpatrick
out
led
for
this team for on in tight end for snaps. That's not
yeah,
encouraging.
he's not great.
No, he's
I don't
he's
think, and
fine.
honestly, like
I think he's fine. I don't think
no,
he's
he's he's not good.
agree to disagree again.
But I will say, I think I think my thoughts and our thoughts on Luke Musgrave's side, it's an emotional decision to take him out of the equation entirely when your tight end core is not strong to begin with. Like John Musgrave, essentially they are the same player in my eyes. Um, he had a bad drop.
Yeah,
Like
he
he
did.
there the play is not that great. So if you are, I don't know. This is where I feel like we're going more into roster selection, or if you want to, not roster selection, but like getting the guys on the field that you trust the most. And if you already don't trust Luke Musgrave, but there are guys that are making equally dreadful mistakes, or letting Jordan Love down. Like John Fitzpatrick is another guy that had terrible drops that he had wide open field ahead of him
Yep.
and can't. He turns his body, just can't complete it, and it's like we knew that this was going to happen when you lose Tucker Craft because he's so eclipsed. He eclipses everyone else on the roster in terms of what he does and brings to the field. That seeing Luke Musgrave struggle one is not new.
No.
And it's also not new for him to essentially fall out of favor mid game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where I don't know. Again, part of the mess that is coming with each and every Packer game.
That's right. That's right. Um, Before we move on to the defense, I have like the transition that this is going to be is
Let me know
just
where um transitioning the defense because I gotta transition to my camera on defense as well.
no, you don't.
I do.
Um, this game was ugly. This game was really, really
Yeah,
ugly. Like they won, it was gritty, a lot of injuries kind of coming and going, like, and there was a lot of mistakes, right? But they win. This is from Andy Herman, who outlines all of the mistakes the Packers had today, and it's a lot. So buckle up. Carrington Valentine dropped pick. Luke Musgrave fumble out of bounds. Romeo Dobbs drop on third down. Another Carrington Valentine dropped the interception. The John Fitzpatrick drop. Rasheed Walker hold. The missed extra point from Luke Havrasek. Holding penalty on I don't know. Oh, on the punt return.
yep.
Um, a drop by Romeo Dobbs. A drop by Dontavian Wicks. The horrible missed tackle from Edrin Cooper on 3rd and 15 that led to a first down. Um, the same drive, I believe, Jameis Winston had a QB sneak for 10 yards. Isaiah McDuffie pass interference down by the goal line. The bad snap from Sean Ryan. That was a fumble from. That was the bad snap from Sean Ryan that Jordan picks it up, runs, throws to Luke Musgrave, who then fumbles, but then drops, which is the next one Musgrave drop. Another missed extra point. Watson drop on third down. I don't remember that one. I might have. Yeah, I don't remember that one. Javon Bullard and Isaiah McDuffie drop an interception in which Isaiah McDuffie plows over Javon Bullard, who could have caught that ball for interception. Uh, Keyshawn Nixon dropped the interception. Face mask on Colby Wooden. Another Romeo drop. A hold on Josh Wiley, and then Luke Havresick kicks it into the end zone. Yikes, is how he ends that tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was yikes. They had, what, 5 dropped interceptions? It's insane. Like, this game should not have been anywhere near close as it was. They still win by 7, and they ultimately get the interception at the end of the game where Evan Williams intercepts Jameis Winston in the end zone on a route which Jalen Hyatt stopped running. And then they end the game with a Micah Parsons strip sack of Jameis Winston on the Hail Mary attempt. The ball never gets past the line of scrimmage. But, like, I thought the defense played just fine, but they had so many opportunities that they squandered. Like if they capitalize as a true like amazing defense should, this game is 45 to like 6 because they just don't the Giants don't have
They would have
the
housed them.
they would have housed them. The Giants don't have the drives to score points on if they keep turning the ball over. Like it was insane how many opportunities they squandered to put this game away in the first half even, and it was just disappointing. Like Tyrone Tracy had a pretty good day on the ground, 20 carries or 19 carries rather, 88 yards. Devin Singletary 16 carries, 44 yards and 2 touchdowns. Um, Tyrone Tracy also added 50 yards through the air. Like
He was good.
he was good today. Like he wasn't really talked about as like a starter in this league, especially with Cam Scatterbo getting a bunch of hype for them early on in the preseason and through camp and such. But like Tyrone Tracy was really good last year for the
Down the
Giants.
stretch, yeah.
He had 336 yards total, but I'm like you said down the stretch before. This is this year. Um, Last year he scored 5 touchdowns, and it was sort of the kind of the middle of the season. Oh my God, the Giants lost so many games last year. Um, he had games of 129 yards on the ground, 145 and 100 last year. Like he
A
was,
Rashad Penny level like closeout to the year.
yeah, like he was good, and so he's definitely talented, and he showcased as much today. But like even then, you let Jameis Winston go 19 and 29, 200 yards, with 2 sacks. Like Micah Parsons had 2 sacks there, a sack and a half, but it should have been two. Like was holding on to the guys onto Jameis Winston's leg for one of them.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just the defense played well. Like they held them to 20 points. They ultimately get their interception, got a couple sacks, but golly, man, that they had an opportunity to like have a absolutely like amazing talk about for years day, and they just kept dropping all the interceptions.
Every transition to the defense.
Yes, Jordan, we have transition to the defense, and you can't even do it today because the camera angle they had of Hafley was good.
It was so windy out there. It was really windy.
The camera angle they had of Hafley was good today. They showed it in the first half when they talked about Jeff Hafley being a candidate for Giants head coach this coming off season, and it wasn't bad. It was eye level, and it was off center a little bit. It was good.
I'll have to go back and study the film on the Jeff Hafley tape.
It was sometime in the
Um,
first half.
yeah,
Just defense overall, we're talking about.
yeah, I'm just trying to like phrase it right.
Isaiah McDuffie had 11 tackles to lead the team. Jesus Christ.
He was, I, you know, I don't want to tip my hand, but someone that we will consider Jesus.
Probably.
Um, I don't know. Just going through the stats too, it's like Giants are 7-14 on third downs. They're 3-4 on fourth downs. They were moving the ball. Like Jameis Winston was kind of what we expected. You know what I mean? Like he makes plays. He knows how to get the offense rolling. He will throw a lot of balls in harm's way. And this is the Packers. I mean, I think Xavier McKinney kind of summed it up best of like they left so much meat on the bone of turnover worthy plays that they were literally in passing lanes or it would just donk off of or doink off of like Carrington Valentine. Carrington Valentine had like three alone, if not four.
He had at least two. I think you
Yeah.
could be argue that he should have had 3 or 4.
And it's just, we see it from a really high up angle that who knows how close they are in that in vicinity of these um
Throws.
yeah throws that become 50-50 plays, but it is just like finishing on plays or being aware of like I don't think it's that alone, but yeah, it was just kind of frustrating to see them almost get there and then the Giants would march down. Like they did have answers for this Packers defense, which again they I just can't be mad with this over like the defense overall because by and large they're failed when they're looking spectacular or doing things that like keep them in games if the offense doesn't do anything to repay them. It's when they
Yeah.
look mortal compared to that the offense finally steps up and scores more than 13 points in a game. Um, but yeah, it is just kind of like the fact that the Giants finished with what 142 yards in rushing,
Yeah.
kind of.
The front got bullied today.
They did, and this is not a Giants offensive line that was viewed as such. You know,
Kind of, sort of. We kind of touched on it. Their pass blocking was good. Like they weren't really allowing a whole lot of sacks, and so I think they had the ability, but I also think the front just played poorly today. It's a little option A, a little option B, in my opinion.
that's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, like the front had a less than average day, and the Giants team had an above average day.
Yeah, I will
So
say. I mean, even with it being like a C plus, That might be too strong. C level worthy grade of a performance.
Yeah.
I liked Isaiah McDuffie's day. I liked Evan Williams. Like he's kind of gone back on track of what we were talking about him this time last year
Mm-hmm.
before kind of the swoon by the end of his rookie year. Quay Walker left the game with a stinger, but he was pretty impactful early on. I think that was another reason too, is that when he left the game, even though that was like third quarter, memory serves,
Mm-hmm.
they were still moving the ball in the middle of the like field and finding soft spots that Packers just didn't have answers for in that way.
No,
Of just like that's the play timing of it all.
no, Jameis Winston was carving up the zone in the first half.
Yeah.
Like these receivers were just finding the soft spot, especially Theo Johnson, who we talked about in the preview. That like if there's gonna be a guy that has a good game, um, for the Giants, it was gonna be Theo Johnson. He finished with 3 catches and 36 yards, but like he was drawing penalties. He was working Keyshawn Nixon on a couple of third downs that just like Keyshawn had no part being in business part of. And so, I mean, Isaiah Hodgins had 5 catches for 57 yards and led them in receiving. Um, so, I mean, overall they did fine against the pass, but like, it's just I hate to say it was any good because like I don't think it was great, but like individuals played well. Javon Bullard had a really
Yes,
good breakup near the end zone. Gets his arm in and breaks up a pass. That was a really good play.
that was big.
You talked about Evan Williams, like his interception and just being all over the field this afternoon. Like that, like he was playing well. I didn't see much of X today, like on screen, but I'm sure he played just fine. It really just is the two corners, and it literally is two corners from their snap counts. Uh, Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon played 67 snaps each, which I'm pretty sure is all of the defense. And Kamal Hayden, the only other corner that got defensive or that got snaps, uh, got 6 special team snaps. He didn't play any on defense, and obviously Bull Melton didn't either.
That's me with two corners. Keyshawn and Carrington. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, Bo Melton.
I forget who's the lead singer of REM, but
Michael Stipe.
yeah, you sound just like him.
Thank you.
But like I think that does says a lot about like
Mikey.
ex Evan Williams and
I heard
Javon
they're getting
Bullard,
back
right?
together.
Shut up. Uh That's a lot about ex Evan Williams and Javon Bullard, right? Like Javon was very good in coverage today. I thought, like I said, he had that good breakup and such. But they're just not going to run more corners. They're just going to rely on their safeties, who they know can stay on the field, and just hope they can play cover ball. You know what I mean? I mean, Isaiah
Well,
McDuffie
and
had that bad DPI against Theo Johnson deep, but you're
yeah,
asking a linebacker to play in coverage. That's what's going to
if
happen.
yeah, you're asking a fighting linebacker to cover
Cover a pretty
deep.
big tight end.
I would not just put Isaiah McDuffie. But no, I Bullard. I think he had a really clutch. Are you okay?
I have a snap count thing that for I'm very confused by, but keep going.
I'm thrown off. What is the snap count thing?
The first one is Colby Wooden outplayed or outsnapped Devontae Wyatt. Colby Wooden with 46 snaps today. Carl Brooks with 37. Devontae Wyatt with 32. And what I was surprised at that made me have that reaction was Nasir Stackhouse had 13 to Warren Brinson's 5. Like I know he was kind of hurt most of the year, but like they drafted the guy. You think they'd let him get some snaps? But I'm also just surprised that like as was Wyatt hurt? Why did he only
Someone
play
left early with the game. Carl Brooks, I know, left at some point, but he's still what? He had 34. You said
37, I think.
37. That's still a lot.
Right, he played
So
5 more than Devontae Wyatt. Did Devontae Wyatt get hurt?
would be the first time.
No, it wouldn't. But like, um, somebody on Twitter asked if he got hurt. I think this was in the first half because this was when they showed Halfley for an entire like it between plays. They showed Halfley for like an entirety of like the play clock, And so I think Devontae White might have been on the ground then. But either way, that's very confusing. I don't know why he didn't get as much run as he did. I guess we'll see on the injury report, but regardless. Sorry to throw you off. I was just shocked at Devontae White only having 32 snaps and being the third highest snap count for his position.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a good chance that he probably was hurt. A lot of
Yeah.
stingers out there, MetLife Stadium.
Well, who had one? It was Aaron Mosby had one. He came back when we thought he dislocated his shoulder
Yep,
on that kickoff, I believe, that
yep,
tackle, and then Quay left with one.
yep.
So not great.
It's funny.
Um,
It's called MetLife Stadium. It's insurance, and boy, do they need it.
yeah, they
Do
need
they
it,
need it to play on that field?
especially the Giants. They're making some claims for sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just all very interesting. But anything else in the defense? We do have to talk about two more positions. One good, one bad.
Let me just
No, you don't need to move your camera. You don't need to. Nope. You get
No,
one.
I don't think there's anything more I can say with the defense. I Micah Parsons came up big again, as he has done when the Packers win. It's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
He knows how to put a stamp on a win. I
He,
will say that's isn't that the third, fourth Cardinals,
uh
Giants. I would say the Lions game, even though that was well in hand.
yeah, third. Well, we can call it a
Steelers.
soft third. Yeah, kind of, sorta.
That's four.
Um, the last person or second, the penultimate person we're talking about, uh, Daniel Whalen. Awesome game from him today, including the massive, huge punt, to pin the Giants back on their last drive of the game. Four punts, 195 yards, two within the 20, and his long was 61 yards when they really needed it. So good on them, or good on him for a good day punting the ball.
Yeah, he's not Australian, but he's a boomer.
I I can't stand you sometimes. That was so bad.
What?
Um, the last person we're talking about is
Yeah.
Lucas Eversick.
Yep.
He's getting the benefit of the doubt for me today. One of his kicks, the laces were in.
Whoa.
One of his kicks, the laces were in. The first one was just bad. Um, and then he made one of three today. So the first one, not good. I think it was the third kick. The laces were facing inward. That's why it looked so bad. And so, benefit of the doubt, it was windy. That had nothing to do with either kick being missed. But in there was a video on Twitter that showed him like kicking well pregame, like he was making kicks in the wind. So I am reserving my judgment of what is to take from his game today until we see further information.
Honest question.
Okay.
I don't want you to laugh.
Well, you say that. Okay.
How close are we to Rich Bisaccia being like, screw it, I'll do it myself?
I mean, obviously not close. They're not going to give him a roster spot.
There's a non-zero chance. No, I
No,
don't. I
there is
mean,
a
I don't
zero
know.
chance, Jordan, that Rich Bisaccia is going to kick balls for the Green Bay Packers.
I
I would
mean,
bet my life on it.
what you say is as a rejection. I view as an opportunity.
Sure. But like
Um,
it's getting to the point where like it's tenuous, right? Like again, I'm reserving my judgment until further data can be seen, but he went uh 2 of 2 on field goals against the Bengals and 3 and 3 on extra points. He went 2 of 2 on field goals and 3 and 3 on extra points against the Cardinals, including the 61 yarder. And then today, the bad shank, which, whatever, it happens. It sucks, but it happens. Brandon McManus had one just last week, and then
yeah,
the one where the laces were in. And so If he can get back to the Bengals and Cardinals game, that's fine. If he has another performance like this, go down to Schwabman High School and see if the local high school kicker wants to give it a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, two things. We'll keep hammering it. Who knew that the Packers would have a harder time finding a kicker to replace Mason Crosby than
A
a
quarterback
quarterback to
replace.
replace Aaron Rodgers? Two, if you have two kickers, you have no kickers.
Well, they currently don't have one, or they don't have two. McManus is going to be out for a while.
True, yes,
So they have one kicker.
they have one kicker,
So
but
again, to get mad for no reason because I want to. He was doubtful coming into the game based on a designation from Saturday. Why was he kicking the last 3 weeks? Why?
when
It's
the whole
another
point to
right.
add on to it, when the whole point of starting Lucas Haversick or selecting him for the two games that he played
Right.
before was to limit how long Brandon McManus is going to be out. They were like, this
To let him get
alleviates.
healthy.
Yeah,
And
but
they
you can't.
and they
You
did
can't
it.
do that when you just kick.
And he didn't miss kicks. Like he was perfect. And then they said,
Was he?
yes,
Wait, are you talking about McManus or Haversick?
Haversick.
Haversick was perfect. And therefore, we're like, oh yeah, just keep writing out. You can
Just keep
make
riding
sure
out
McManus is
until
good.
right. And they said, stupid idea. I spit in your general direction.
They essentially hit on 18.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah,
They hit on 20, frankly.
yeah.
He
They're
was perfect.
yeah. Actually, I would say they hit on 21.
Right.
Yeah.
He did nothing wrong.
Matt LaFleur is a terrible poker player or blackjack player.
I would say Rich Bisaccia is a terrible blackjack player. I
But
think
this is where it goes.
I think he has more say in that decision than Matt LaFleur does.
Personnel.
Famously, I
He's also
don't
the
talk to
associate.
kickers.
Wait, what?
You didn't know this?
Wait. Ooh.
Matt LaFleur said he doesn't talk to kickers.
Okay. Well, good job.
I have
Thanks for admitting
what is
that.
Aaron Nagler's company? Cheesehead TV. They made a T-shirt of it. Like he said it. I think the second week McManus was out when the media was asking like, how's he doing? Is he feeling better? Is he gonna play this week? And LaFleur was like, I don't talk to kickers. I don't know.
That feels.
Sure, it feels whatever, but it sounds serious. Because otherwise they wouldn't have played him the last 3 weeks, Jordan.
He said that this year.
Yes.
God.
I'll send you the
Yeah,
tweet when we're done recording, but yes, he said
Okay.
this.
Yeah, you're not. He's not really helping himself by saying
No.
that, even if it's supposed to be a joke.
No.
Matt LaFleur not known for his sense of humor, I would say.
No. And he's not a good actor because that Quick Trip commercial is bad.
Good lord. Good lord. I have to see that every week.
It's so bad.
I want to choose you. Who is the best Packers fan?
Oh, it's bad. So, all right, let's end this pod laughing because
I will say, as good as Brett Favre in There's Something About Mary level of acting, of just like, he's never seen a cue card in his life. He's like, what's a script?
right. He knows what a script is.
Sure
He knows
he doesn't know what game script is.
I was gonna say he knows what one script is, and Brett Favre knows what a few scripts are.
Yeah, when he's served with papers.
Not the script I was talking about. Let's talk about the illicit the illicit substances script.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, we're in this pod laughing and on a better note. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Talk the Tundra. We'll be back in your podcast feeds this week as the Packers prepare for a big division game against the Minnesota Vikings, who squandered their lead against the Bears today. I'm going to puke, first place Chicago Bears.
We get to see 9.
We get to see 9. I saw a picture today of someone posting. It said, "Look, it's 9," and it's a picture of Michael Sarah in a Vikings jersey. I was like, "That's very funny." So yeah, we'll be back in your podcast feeds this week with the Vikings preview. yeah, check out all things Gyro Step at gspn.info. Join the GSPN Discord, talk all things Bucks, Brewers, Packers, and more by going to our About section and joining there. Uh, check out all things Bucks on Eurostep with Ty and Rohan as they win their cup game against the Hornets. Um, have they played? And then they got stomped by the Lakers. Third game in what 4 days for them, and like 4-6. It's not great.
I believe it'll be 5-7 after Monday.
Christ.
Yeah.
Thanks, NBA schedule makers. Appreciate you. So again, I appreciate all of you listening more than my sarcastic appreciation of NBA schedule makers. Jordan, I appreciate you, and thank you.
Thank you.